Welcome back to Football Frenzy. We stay in West Virginia, but this time we head to Ellenboro as the Ritchie County Rebels went up against Wahama, who is the top-ranked team in Class A.
Oh yeah, the Rebels are looking to pull off a huge upset in Clay, win number 2 on the season. Let's go to Ellenboro and see what happened. Opening series for the Rebels, it's quarterback Turner Shriver dropping back and firing this one deep down the sideline, and it's hauled in by Kellen Kress. What a great grab, but the Rebels would turn it over later on that drive. Now later in the first, Wahama quarterback Trace Simpkins gonna load up and drop a dime in the bucket to his receiver Robert Roush as the White Falcons strike first, 7-0. Still in the first, Wahama running back Reason Stitt takes the handoff and finds the hole following his blockers. Then he hits the speed boost as no one will catch him. He races to the end zone to extend the White Falcons' lead 14-0. In the second quarter, it's Wahama again as Travion Beers gets behind his big man and plows his way in for the 21-zip lead. Still in the second is Stitt taking the handoff, and he will break free going untouched into the end zone for the 28-0 White Falcons lead. Just before halftime, Wahama strikes one final time as Simpkins floats over the defense and finds his man Roush again for the second time this game to make it 35-zip at halftime. The Rebels will go on to fall in this one. 53-8 is your final.
Now out to Ripley High School for the Vikings going up against the Winfield Generals. First drive, Winfield's quarterback Jared Miller calls his own number, spins out of a tackle and fights to the end zone, and that makes it 7-0 Winfield. Ripley trying to answer back. QB Jackson Moore finds Kyler Fisher, and he races down the field. It looks like he's got plenty of green grass in front of him, but watch Tyler Loggery. He's going to hustle downfield and catch up to Fisher here, then knocks the ball free. And it's Aiden Tate falling on it at the 1. What a defensive play there.
Great DK Metcalf.
Now it's going deep to Pierce Werline for a big pickup here. Heaves it down the field for a beautiful throw right into the bucket there. Pretty. And then a few plays later, it's Gannon Boggs taking the handoff, weaving through defenders, cutting across the field, then cutting it to the outside. He's going to work his way down the sideline for the touchdown to make it 14-0. Ripley does answer with Cody Lawrence powering it into the end zone, but Winfield will go on to win this one 58-21. Coming up next on Football Frenzy, we've got your play of the night.
But first, here's a look at some of the games you can expect to see this weekend in college football and next Friday at the high school level.